Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 7, or the penultimate episode. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sure, to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on the penultimate episode of Daredevil, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I will greatly appreciate. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, overall, I really did enjoy this penultimate episode. I mean, this whole season has just been really banger after banger after banger. And they were really topping each other until, I want to say episode 5 was the first one. I was like, good episode, but still not my favorite episode. Episode 6 was like kind of back on course, and episode 7 was just maintaining that all the way through. Next week we'll really have to shit the bed in order for me to not think this season was better than season 1. But overall, this episode, to me, my only criticism is that it was too short. I think we could have expanded on some things here and there. The use of Jessica Jones is really interesting to me. Now, she is going to have a much more bigger presence, as we saw from the set photos from season 3. But, you know, this whole, I'm leaving. Okay, now I'm back. Like, it's just like, well, we need her for the big final fight when we get to the finale. So we're just gonna have her go, but we don't really need her right now because Matt's gonna be in lawyer mode. So we're saying that she leaves, and you know she has a justifiable reason, but she'll end up coming back because of Jessica, and she always comes back and she'll do what is right in the end. Everything we did with Daniel in this episode, I also really much enjoyed. This is where his story comes to its rightful end. I did see some people before hitting record that they were like, it was just too predictable. Well, sometimes predictability is okay because that is the right thing to do. You do the obvious thing because most of the time the obvious thing to do is the right thing to do. Now, I did think for a slimmer second, which is a testament to the writers and the editing team, that I really thought Buck was going to let him go. But nope, he did shoot him in the head after he would not give up BB because, you know, if you won't give up the mole, then you are the mole, right? So he had to get him out, and you could tell that it actually hurt Buck to do that. He's like, I really don't enjoy this. You know, we saw that building that relationship throughout the whole entire season of, no, I actually do really like the kid. I want him to work out. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I feel like we could expand on that a little bit more. I would like to see a little bit more scenes of that difficulty of Daniel going to do that, that he was going to give up BB. Also, I don't know why Buck's not looking out the window if there was just that window there to be like, why is he letting him walk away? Like, how is he not watching him like a hawk all the way through? But, you know, we had to get to where we got to go. So I'm not fully upset by it, but I do think, again, there was a little bit of meat left on that bone. I hope BB's not gone for good. I really do enjoy that character quite a bit, and I would like to see that character progress now that we are about to move past the Fisk era to see what the BB report could actually be. And, you know, and again, we could just continue to progress that character and make it and continue for it to blossom in a lot of ways. But overall, this episode really centered around Karen, and we've been going back and forth when it comes to the Karen character, because overall, I love Miss Page, right? And I was intrigued when the whole debate between Karen and Matt was going through of like, hey, maybe we should kill them, where, you know, she's basically taking on the Frank Castle role of the Punisher and Daredevil debate, right? Should you kill or should you not kill? Should it always be by the system? Blah, blah, blah. And at first I was intrigued by it and I liked it. Then as the season progressed, I wasn't the hugest fan of it anymore, just because I just want to see them get along, right? Like, I didn't get it for a whole season. I just want them to be together, and I just want them to, you know, figure it out. They can have their disagreements every once in a while, but at its core, like, you know, they should stay together. And, you know, I was kind of worried that they probably wouldn't stay together. This episode, nope. Hey, everything's all good now. Well, water under the bridge. Let's focus on the task at hand, where they realize, hey, we got Fisk right where we got him. And, you know, even Karen was like, it's weird seeing you scared. I actually really like it. And I really thought they were going to kill her. And then I was like, damn, we're just going to start dropping people left and right. You know, we're just going to get, you know, we're going to see like a very fertile Matt. when we get into this finale. But no, he lets her go, and she's like, "Look, I see him scared. Like, I need to stay. I need to go through this trial just to figure out how I can scare him a little bit more." And Matt's like, "I got it. I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna do to represent the defense." Now, my only thing is that throughout the court thing, and that whole shooting that happens later. Now, Fisk is about to get the book dropped on him, especially now that is it the governor? Governor Kelly, I believe it was her name. Now that she is actually going to be able to be alive because Bullseye does keep his word. He saves her, kills the person that Fisk sent to like stop the expedition of his suspension. And that whole entire court case, you can see all of it. But once we get to we get the police escort, and then here they come. They're trying to kill Matt and Duffy and that whole entire case. Part of me's like, I think you let them shoot you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crazy, right? But Matt getting shot, that next day in court, he just has to go, "Hey, they shot me." Like, it's not about winning the court case. It's about making sure Fisk goes away and this task force goes away, which they're clearly going to do in this. And be like, "Look, just keep hammering that on so we can expedite this." He goes away, bada bing, bada boom. We get a little bit of a win, then it's all about rebuilding the city at that point. And again, those were the types of things I really wanted to expand on. I loved everything we did about the court case. Honestly, we could have saved Daniel for next week in a lot of ways and just wrap up everything in episode 8. And we could have just had a whole 45-minute drama, courtroom drama for that matter, of them going back and forth. And then we could have had the little bit of action at the end. But overall, again, I really did enjoy the episode for what it was. I just think we could really expand on some things here and there. Now, clearly, we are going to get to that when we do get to the finale next week, which I am really sad that this show is about to end already. This is a contention for one of my favorite shows of the year so far. There is a lot of great competition. There's some great competition that are still on its way coming. But I really do think, we could expand. I have said it a lot. I will stop. But we could have done that. And also, maybe we could have wrapped up the story here. And that next week, we could have been just setting up for season 3. They're already filming it, or they're done filming it. In a lot of ways that, again, I just wanted more. I've said it enough, and I will stop now. But yeah, those are my real main concerns when it comes to this. Honestly, part of me doesn't want to see Daredevil in the finale, like him in the costume, right? I kind of want it where the finale, it is Wilson versus Matt, and that is kind of the whole entire end-all be-all. But we do got to take care of that task force, because something tells me that task force ain't going to go down quietly. And I do think, our one guy, the one who has the scars, he ain't going to be staying heel for much longer. I think we have ourselves a bit of a face turn that's coming on, because he's starting to see the doubts while his other friend is so far gone. Hopefully he gets axed in the finale. I know Matt won't do the final deed, but hopefully someone does. My favorite scene in this episode was probably the Karen and Heather scene. There's just something about the current girlfriend and the ex-girlfriend when they start talking and they show the claws a little bit. It's always interesting to see, and just that whole back and forth, and Karen trying to play mind games. But if there's one thing that I know, is that you don't play mind games with a therapist, no matter how corrupt that she may be. Again, we continue to tease that she's going to become Muse when she does hit that trigger. And now we know what the trigger is that when people give her pity. Karen was petty, but she was being given pity to her, and she's like, "Don't give me pity." And that's when she finally starts to beat her, and you feel the monster starting to grow more. I wouldn't honestly mind if Karen was the main villain next season as Muse, and we do get a proper Muse where we get that psychological. Now, we probably won't have the artistic side of it, because I don't think Karen has ever shown it. But yeah, that scene to me was a really good back and forth. And again, everything in the courtroom was really what's carrying this. I did like everything we did with Daniel to see his culmination from when he first started to where he got to. This was unfortunately, where he did have to end, I do think it was the right spot to do, even though for a slimmer hope, I was hoping Buck would just let him go and just let him be hurt. But ultimately, he did have to get that final shot. But yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts of it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And for next week's finale, I can't wait to talk about it with y'all. Tomorrow we got The Boys. That will be out within the afternoon when I get home from work. But yeah, lots of stuff heading your way over into this channel. And I hope to see y'all here. But yeah, don't forget to squeeze the days too, guys, because life is too short not to give your all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.